Welcome to the Metaphysical Journey. Happy Friday the 13th. I hope it's been a wonderful day for you and that everything turned out perfect. For this reading, I'll be pulling from the Dia de los Muertos Oracle. That is a deck that's created by Sullivan Walden, and the artwork for this is by Emily Greaves de Reyes Contla. This is a beautiful deck. I'll be pulling 3 cards, and these are messages from the other side, from our departed loved ones. Now, if I had to give an overall title to this or pull a quote for these messages, the overall quote would be one taken from a movie that I love called Anti-Mame, the one with Rosalind Russell. And the quote is, "Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death." And that really sets the stage or the tone for this, because the messages coming from the departed loved ones is all about enjoy your life. It's not as bad as you think it is. So the very first card that I pulled is La Catrina. Now, the Catrina is probably the most well-known symbol of Day of the Dead. It's the skeleton, and you'll see the card in front of you there. And this was, the name La Catrina came from the popular Mexican muralist Diego Rivera. Now, he was the husband of Frida Kahlo, and most people know of Frida Kahlo, but not always Diego Rivera, but an incredible muralist, and his works are all over Mexico City. Amazing stuff. But it's the most symbolic image of Day of the Dead. And if you look at the way that they are portrayed, especially now in costumes and makeup, you have women that are just absolutely stunningly beautiful when they're made up like the Catrina. And you have the skeletons, and they're dressed out to the max, very, very glamorous. They just look incredibly beautiful. Now, one of the things about the Catrina is that the purpose of her is to encourage us to laugh at ourselves and also the life that we're trying to make for ourselves, and just enjoy life while we have it in general. So life is meant to be a joke. And so the question is from La Catrina is, why are we struggling so hard to prove that we are not what we are, instead of accepting who we are? Because that's really what life is about. So you are an infinite being with everything you could already possibly have. That's what the Catrina is trying to bring across. I mean, she's over the top, definitely, but she is representing the way that we live our lives. Think about this, how hard you are struggling to have the finer things in life and to keep up with everybody else. You work and work so hard. You have a lot of stress. You have several jobs. You have credit card debts out the nose. I mean, it's just, life is hard. And why is that happening? So on the other side, the ancestors, they see this, they remember they were here, and probably the minute they cross over, they say, wow, I'm happy I'm done with that. That was really crazy. And the Catrina represents that. She is meant for us to look at and say, what a comical character, because that's kind of what we are ourselves. In the book that came with this, there's a story that says the sound of thunder is actually the sound of angels rolling around on heaven's floor, laughing at the memories of our self-importance of Earth, of how important we thought we were. Because in reality, we're just making something out of nothing, because Catrina reminds us and wants us to remember that we spend so much time pretending to have more than we have, instead of already accepting what we have. You are right now more magnificent than the human mind can imagine. You are more than your ego. And that's what the Catrina message is. And the ancestors want you to know, give yourself a break. Stop pushing yourself so hard. You already have everything you could possibly want. We were taught, many of us growing up in church, that our goal here on earth should be building up our treasures in heaven. Message from the ancestors is, all right, you don't have to build everything up. It's already there. You already have it. Enjoy your time on earth and just make it count. Have fun. That's where the joy needs to come from. The next card is the Ángel de la Muerte, the angel of death, also known as Santa Muerte, or the saint of death. Now, the kind of the saying that goes with this card is savor every fleeting, precious moment. Santa Muerte is a feminine deity who wants to awaken our souls. She's often represented as a grim reaper. Now, she's not here to steal our life, but to remind us that we have a life and we should be living it. So the message on this from the ancestors is, know that they loved the time they spent with us, and they know that we love the time we spent with them, but they don't want us to continue grieving. Don't grieve any more than we have to. They want us to be happy for them because they are now free in their place beyond the physical realm and exploring the universe. They want you to know that you can also tap into that and remain connected with them. So you are a forever being with the eternal soul that spans the galaxy with unending grace. Now, that's a pretty amazing thing. So on this earth, we're struggling to be something, but the reality is we're already somebody. We're amazing. We just can't see it on this physical plane. So treasure every moment while on earth, because it is meant to be a fun experience for learning and growing, and being there to help other people, not to try to see who can accumulate the most material goods before they die. Because again, there's never a U-Haul behind a hearse going to a cemetery. What you leave with what you came in with, nothing, because everything that you already have and need is waiting for you on the other side. If you came from that, you're going back to that. So also know that your ancestors, they've never really left you. You are always anchored with them through the connection of love. So know that and draw some strength and encouragement from that. Your ancestors are always with you. The last card is mariachis. Now, this one, I was happy when this one came up because I absolutely freaking adore mariachis. If I could come back in another life and be anything, it'd be a mariachi. They're magical. They're great. I'm not into the polyester pants thing, but still the mariachis are really cool. So this one is Sing the Song of Your Soul. Now, this is interesting because the last card talked about how the ancestors are always connected to us through a connection of love. So how do you strengthen that connection? And that's where mariachis come in. So in the mid-1800s, a little bit of history here, you know, I can't help it. In the mid-1800s, the mariachis were actually itinerant laborers that carried the news of the revolution through their songs and music as they traveled around and worked. So mariachi music, it's very unique. It's a blend between Spanish, native sounds, and also African traditions. So it's extremely unique, and they use just certain instruments for it. But it's beautiful. And it's one of those types of things that when mariachis start performing, they can lift your soul to the heavens, and they can drag your soul down into the earth, because their songs can be, there's so much emotion packed into that, and you truly will feel it. They are a very strong part of Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos. Mariachis also very commonly, they follow funeral processions, and when they get to the graveside, they will play sad songs for the family and for the departed. In Mexico City, last little fun fact here, in Mexico City, there is a place called Plaza Garibaldi. And if you ever get the chance to go, if you're in Mexico City, make a point to go. Go with people you trust, especially at night, because it can kind of be a scary time, or a scary place in a way. But Plaza Garibaldi, that is famous for the mariachis. I went there one night with a Rotary Club group, and in the one huge restaurant, there were 4 different mariachi groups playing at the same time. It was intense. It was freaking awesome. Loved it. So the mariachi card, what's the message on this one? And the message is that when you miss your loved ones, let music be your connection. Now, why music? Because it is one of the fastest ways to connect with them. And so when you sing, when you dance, and when you listen to your favorite music, whether it's the music that was liked by your departed loved one or not, doesn't matter. But when you listen to your favorite music, it elevates your energy frequency and it makes it easier for them to connect with you. So that's the connection there. Music can do that for you. So instead of suffering from the loss of the loved one, they ask that you dress up, you sing, you dance, and you imagine that they are with you while you're doing it. So it's kind of like that song that says, could I have the last dance? You can always have the next dance with your ancestors just by doing that. Spend some private time with them in your home. Dance like a crazy person, because that's going to raise your vibration and they're going to be there with you. And while you're dancing, think of them. You might even say, hey, Grandma, can I have this dance with you? And just go for it. And you'll probably feel that she's right there having the time of her life. So celebrate your life. Don't grieve the loss of theirs. They're happy, they're free, and they are always with you in the celebration of your life. For all the important moments, they're going to be there. So I hope these cards help. Always know that our ancestors are our first line of defense. They are always around you. They care about you. They love you. And they want to make sure that your life isn't as stressful as theirs was, because now that they've crossed over, they see the bigger picture of, boy, I wasted a lot of time on things that didn't even matter. That's crazy. And they want you to not do the same. So they're here to celebrate you, your happiness, and your experience while here on Earth. Thank you so much for following me on the metaphysical journey, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful week. Bye.